Hi, welcome to another video. Let's give you a little scenario here. You're in your own custom Mac 4 screen. You've gone to your ScreenLoad Script. You've got umpteen amounts of functions that are already there, and you've added loads of custom functions inside there as well. But you've also added your own custom modules. Now, wouldn't it be nice if you could go along, select a button that you've got, any button, and you know there's a function in there called Open Docs, so you want to use that within your script. So we'd go Open Docs, but as you can see, it's not highlighted. You know, we haven't got the autofill like if you was to do an MC command, you can then get all the MC commands. So wouldn't it be nice if we could put our own custom functions and custom modules within these AutoComplete, API references, whatever you want to call them? Well, of course you can, otherwise I wouldn't be making this video. So let's have a look on how to create our own. So first of all, let's just have a quick look at what these AutoComplete or API reference files look like. From your Mac 4 folder, you'll have a folder called ZeroBrane Studio. Well, inside there we've got another folder called API and then one called Lua. Now these are the reference files. If you have a look in the MC one, you'll find it's got all your variables, signals, everything's all declared in here. These are all your functions, and this is just one very large table array. It looks rather daunting when you first look at it, but the way I'm going to show you, it will make it just so much easy for you. Now in Mac 4, in my ScreenLoad Script, I've just clicked the wrong button. If I go into the edit screen and look at the ScreenLoad Script, the first thing I'm gonna do, I mean, if you look in here, you've got functions, spin counterclockwise. There's loads of functions, and you've probably made a load of your own functions as well. On the bottom of here, I've got 4 very fictitious functions. They physically do nothing, but it will help me explain the principle of how to put one of these files together. So first off, you will probably have noticed I've made a couple of templates. I'll put these templates in the forum within the description somewhere. So let's do the functions one first. Now the functions, we've got 4 fictitious functions, remember, which we want to be able to use the autofill for them. We've got my func 1, 2, 3 and 4. So within our file, let's just declare a function. So we'll take the first one, in fact it is my func _1. So that's the name of the function. The type is a function. You never have to change that line at all. That always wants to stay the same. It doesn't need any variables or anything sent to it, so that's none. And it's got nothing returning from it, so we don't need to put anything in there. So returns are none. It is good to put these in brackets. It will help you see what you're doing. And it's just custom function 1. That'll do me. So what have we got? We've got another function 2, haven't we? So if you take everything in between those 2 there, drop it down here, we can now do custom func 2. So what have we got in custom function 2? So it's asking for an inst to be sent to it. So just an inst is a number. So that's what it's asking for. So within our file, we can say the arguments that it wants is the inst, and that needs to be a number or an integer. We'll put it down as a number. That's how Mac is doing it at the moment, but I would have normally put an integer there. Does it return anything? Let's have a look. It returns the inst as well. So we can put that in here in the returns. Returns can be a number. Or you could even put returns inst number, whatever you like, but that's what it's going to return. And that's our custom function number 2. So we can do all of that for number 3 and number 4. So once you've completed all the functions you want in there, we need to save this file, but we're not going to save it as the template. We can go in and save it as functions.lua and then save it. Now we can also open another one. Yep, get it there in a minute. We can do the same with the modules template. Now a while back I done a video on basic modules, and our modules file looked where is it? A custom func, that's what it was called. So say we wanted to do what we've got in our custom modules. Now within Mac 4, in the modules part, we done package.loaded custom func equals nil, and our module we actually called it CF. So with the modules, this is our module name. So within, where are we, template, this is the part just here. This is what we declared in our require. So we can use CF. And then the function part of it becomes exactly the same as the last file we just done. So the function name is going to be getSigState. So we can drop that into the getSigState. What does it return? It returns a state, which is a number. So returns is our state, and that was a number. Arguments we need to send to it, well, that was a sig. That was also a number. So we need to send a sig number. Once again, you can put the description in there. That is totally optional. So we then copy, get it right, make sure you get that one as well. Everything between the start and stop, and paste that in underneath. Then we can add the set sig state into there. I might as well have just changed that, and I set sig state. It's a function we don't change. Does it return anything? Nope, it's not returning anything, so that can become a none. And the arguments sig number, and it'll also be a state number. Where are we? State number. And that's that one done. So we can now do save as, and I'm going to just name that as CF because that's what library it is. And then if you've got another module full of stuff, you can have another one. So we'll save that as cf.lua. Lua. Thank you. Getting there. Is it getting late? No, it's only 20 to 8. Save that. And that's both of them done. If we look at the docs on the ZeroBrane site, you'll find out that we have to declare our API definition files. I know what the name of it now is. It's actually written there. And that's done in the form of API equals, like it says here, WX widgets, baselib. Now this is what will be in the Mac 4 one. It will be API equals WX widgets, Lua, MC, SCR, and stuff like that. Now that is normally done within the interpreters, which is in here, and as you'll see, there's not a Mac 4 one. Well, for Mac 4, it's actually built in to one of the packages. And if you open the package, well, it's already been compiled. It would make absolutely no difference if it wasn't compiled, because you don't want to put anything in one of the stock files that come with Mac 4. Because when you update Mac 4, you're going to overwrite your own stuff. Pretty much the same with custom screens. You always name them something different, so Mac 4 don't overwrite it. Now, within your editor, if you open up, in fact you can do it from here, just open up the script editor. You've got a file that's in here. If you go to Edit, Preferences, User Settings, now this is where you put all your custom settings for ZeroBrane. This is not stored in the Mac directory. It's underneath your app data folder. So everything in here is safe. Now we need to insert our files into that API table. And the way we do that is table.insert, and what we want to insert it into, which is the API, and then we tell it what file we want to insert. Now the files we had was functions. Let's start with functions. So just functions. You don't need to put the extension here, and that is it. You can save it. If you come out of your editor here, you can now go back in. Let's try to see if one of our functions now work. They were custom func. I think they were custom func, were they? I gotta check myself now. If I can have a look. Ah, my func, that's why. So let's find our thing. So my func, there we are. There's our first one. So what do we have in there? There's no returns, and we don't need to send anything to it. Number 2 returns a number. My func2 ints number sent to it. Description there, custom func2. So that's getting our functions into there now. So let's do exactly the same with our custom module. So we'll insert again into the API, and I have no idea what it was called. It was called CF, wasn't it? Just straightforward. So CF, and save that. Let's come out the editor so we can reinitialize it. So from now on, if we want a custom function out of one of our modules, CF, there's our get sig state and our set sig state, so we know what's in it, and it will tell us what we need to put in there. And that's it. That's another boring video I've brought you. No, I'm just joking. Plenty more of these videos to come, so hopefully that'll make it easier for you to remember what you've put in your custom functions files and your own modules. Well, until the next time, I'll see you again.